Welcome to the Awaken Your Ego podcast, where we embark on a transformative journey towards unleashing your highest potential. I'm your host, Joanne, and I'm thrilled to guide you through discussions that delve into the realms of physical, mental, and spiritual wellness.
Brenna here. Join us as we unravel the mysteries of wellness, offering insights and practical tips to enhance your overall health. From rejuvenating your body to nurturing your mind and spirit, our conversations will cover a holistic approach to well-being.
I'm one of your hosts, Ariana. Discover alternative health strategies aimed at optimizing every aspect of your life. If you're ready to embark on this journey of self-discovery and well-being, tune in, open your mind, and let's awaken your ego together. Welcome to a life-changing adventure on the Awaken Your Ego podcast.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Awaken Your Ego podcast. We're excited to have a new guest today, Erika Phillips. She's owner of Fit Kitchen Meal Prepping, and Ariana will give you a little bit of background about our guest.
Yes, how are you doing today, Erika?
I'm doing well, thank you. Thank you for having me, girls. Appreciate it.
We're so excited to have you on, and we've been following you for a while now, not to sound creepy, but I love the journey that you're on, so we're going to dive into that.
Thank you.
And in case you guys want to know a little bit more about Erika Phillips is a business owner and IFBB Pro Bodybuilder. She originally started her meal prepping business Fit Kitchen in 2020 alongside her husband Mike Phillips during the COVID pandemic. They both decided to quit their full-time jobs in order to pursue their dream of opening up this business. Erika has been an athlete her whole life, and both her and her husband have been in health and fitness for over 15 years. In 2023, they proudly opened up a storefront located in Turlock and have been very successful ever since. Erika has built many relationships with her clientele and other local business owners. With Fit Kitchen, she's been able to help hundreds, if not thousands of people reach their personal health goals by offering healthy and macro-friendly prep meals. Today, Erika currently yearns to find yet another way to help improve her community and has decided to run for the Turlock City Council. Erika prides herself as a hard worker, always staying honest and disciplined, characteristics she displays as a business owner, bodybuilder, and in hopes to the Turlock City Council.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
Love that. Love that for you.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited for that.
Mm-hmm.
So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and like how you even got into bodybuilding in the first place?
Sure. So as you mentioned, I've been in fitness for a very long time. I started focusing on bodybuilding in 2019 is when I got pretty serious about that. And then I hired a coach. She helped me with my first few shows. She got me to nationals. I earned my pro card in my first try at nationals. So at that point, I was like, okay, I'm pretty good at this. I'm gonna pursue this and just go all in on it. My husband is very supportive as well with that. As he's also a competitor as well. So it just kind of helps having your partner being on that same level of fitness and understanding as far as like the discipline side goes, the nutrition side goes, because it can be difficult if you have a significant other that is not too about it, but they'll support you in a way. But it's just the level that we have together is a good balance. So
for sure.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
So you said you were always an athlete and into fitness. What inspired you to start competing?
So actually, one of my friends, she was just like, dude, like I see you as a competitor, like you got to try it out. And I'm just like, I don't know. And then finally, I just like stepped up to the plate. When I had a meeting with my coach, she saw the potential in me, and I was like, all right, you know what, let's do this. And so once I pretty much set my mind on something, I just go all in on it. And I was just 100% dedicated to be the best that I can be at the time, and then just improve from there. And as far as like the bodybuilding life goes, when you get to improve every single time. So every time you do a show, you get feedback from judges, and you take that feedback, run with it, improve yourself, and the next time around, you just get better and better at that. And that's what I really enjoy about being a bodybuilder.
That's awesome. Oh, and that shows that you're not so prideful that you can't take feedback and learn from it. 100%. I think that's,
for sure.
It seems like a simple thing, but I feel like we all know adults that like can't even handle any kind of criticism, but the fact that you're taking it and then improving yourself, like that's fantastic.
Absolutely. Yeah. 'Cause I mean, it's one thing, you know, you're going to be up there in a bikini. They're going to see everything that you got. So it's like, you got to, once you get past that, it's like, okay, cool. Like, you know, hey judges, like, what do I got to work on? So, yeah, it's a pretty cool experience, to say the least.
Oh, I bet. What would you say would have been the most mental challenge for you in the bodybuilding lifestyle?
I would say, in the very beginning, probably the support. And I'm very lucky that my husband is very supportive in that. But just, you pretty much have to change your life. Mm-hmm. So, you know, in the past, you know, I was, you know, working 2 jobs, going out on the weekend, you know, doing whatever I want, living a good life, I thought, you know, and just doing whatever, just still working out, training hard, you know, but I wasn't hitting the goals that I was looking for. So, and I knew that at that time I was like, okay, well, if I want to go as far as I want to be, then I got to kind of change some things around. So, and that's kind of where, you know, my husband and I, we both decided, you know, together, you know what, let's do this together, because we're going to, it'll be difficult if one of us is in and one of us is out. Mm-hmm. So, we both agreed to go forward with bodybuilding, pretty much change our life around, focus more on, training, the nutrition, of course. And, you know, as far as the support side of it, you know, I did have some friends that were supportive of it, but they were kind of like, okay, she's kind of changing, you know, we can't party with her anymore, you know, this and this and that. So it's like, you know, we're not the cool people anymore, you know, for that matter. And I was okay with that, you know, because, you know, during that time, you evolve, you know, and I feel like personally, I have evolved like every year. Like, it's me compared to last year, like I'm not even the same person I was last year, you know, let alone 5 years ago. Yeah. So, you know, with that being said, it's just, you know, you also outgrow people. Not that it's a bad thing, but, you know, you decide to go one way and, you know, they're doing whatever they're going to do. And that's fine. Mm-hmm. You know, you just, at the end of the day, you just don't take things personal. You know, you have a life to live. You know, I'm married. I've been married for 7 years. You know, and it's just kind of going my route and just taking control of my life, how I want to live it. Mm-hmm. You know, and it was living a better and healthier life, you know, helping others reach their personal goals, you know, listening to their stories, their transformations. And that's just really what got me even more into it, and just very passionate about, you know, these people's stories. Because even at my store, like, I get people coming in every week, hey, Erika, Mike, you know, I'm just, you know, we ask them, how's it going? How are the meals working for you? Oh, you know, I lost 20 pounds, you know, this and that. It's just the loss of pounds of different kinds of people, you know, young and old. It's just like, it really warms my heart to hear that, you know, mm-hmm. because it almost becomes a spiritual journey for them. And we know, because we went through that, you know, I went through that myself. You know, I never looked like this, you know, 15 years ago. You know, I had to work my way up to this, you know, so I know how they're feeling when they tell me that story, and it just warms my heart to hear that. And, you know, we appreciate it that much more to be able to be just a little, you know, piece of their journey, you know, mm-hmm. so it's very rewarding.
Yeah, I love that.
That's beautiful.
It's kind of like, you know, finding your tribe. You make sacrifices in order to shift your lifestyle to what is more aligned with you, and then more people who have that same vision mm-hmm. or that same attitude or, you know, lifestyle flock to you. For sure. And it's been so much more fulfilling for you, it sounds
mm-hmm.
like.
100%.
Well, and I feel like at different points in life, like when your desire to succeed is higher than your desire to be liked.
Yes.
Right.
It's like you start to see who likes you for you and can support you and is a good friend, and who's like, no, I just wanted to have a good time with you, and we're, you know, that's what we were for. We're the good time friends, and now that we can't do that, like, I'm out.
Yeah.
But I think it's awesome and honorable that you're like, no, I'm going after this, and whoever's going to be with me, great. Whoever's not, great. You know, and like you said, not personal, because we all have our own little paths.
Not personal at all. You know, in fact, you know, I've run into people that I've hung out with, you know, 5 years ago, and, you know, it's, you know, they talk about they're great or whatnot, you know, and that's fine. You know, more power to them. And me and my husband, we're very humble people, you know, and we don't like to, you know, boast about, oh, I'm doing this and I'm doing that, you know, and it's just not the way we live. It's just more so like, how are you doing? how's life treating you? And that's kind of the attitude that we give to our customers, which pretty much became our friends now, these days, because it's like, your friends tend to, like I said, go different routes, and we see these people every single week, and they're just like telling us how much they improve, what more they're doing, when they're going on vacation, just stuff like that. It just becomes very personable.
Yeah, more intimate even. Like, that's awesome.
So what inspired you to start up your own meal prepping business?
Well, since I've been with Mike, my husband's name is Mike, we got together in 2013. We've been meal prepping ever since. So like, we kind of hit it off in the very beginning, just right away. And we were very like-minded people, and we always watched what we ate, for the most part. And from there, it just kind of grew. So like in 2016, I kind of started like a meal prep business, but I wasn't all in on it. And he was there to help me, but we were also working full-time jobs. So, I tried it out for a few months, but, I was still working, so I didn't have the time. So I kind of had to back off from it. It's like, it is what it is. I tried. So, and then when COVID came around, we both had really good jobs, but then things were kind of, funky in both of our jobs. It was, things were not secure, unsure, more work, less pay, where it just kind of drew me back to, the dream of having a meal prep company. So, I sat there, I'm just like, what, Mike, like, maybe this is the time we need to like go all in on this. We've been talking about it, we live it, we do it, we help others, let's go for it, And so I actually quit my job first, and he followed a couple months down the road. And ever since then, like, business was just booming. And if I didn't take that risk, like, I don't know where I would be really, but I'm just glad that I did. And it just changed my life for the better. I'm able to, help others, and it's always been my passion to help others in one way or another. And now that I can help them change their life, their body, it makes me very happy to be able to do that.
Yeah, and it's been amazing to see how it's grown, because I remember you were doing pop-up events initially.
Yes.
And then now to have your own storefront, like, that's amazing.
For sure. And like when we started in 2020, we actually were renting a private kitchen in Turlock at the commissary. So we were there for 3 years, working sun up to sundown, 7 days a week, hiring anybody that can work for us, just trying to like, make shit happen for us. We're still putting in, the longer part of the hours, because of course, we're the owners. That's what we do,
Yeah.
And so, come 2023, we had the opportunity to purchase a restaurant in Turlock. And luckily, I had an accountant that was with me the whole time as we were growing. So I was like, hey, Monique, like, are the numbers there? Can we do this? And so long story short, she had everything in order, and we were able to, get the restaurant in downtown Turlock. And ever since then, I'm just like, oh my God, thank you, God, for making this happen, And it's been such a blessing, really to be able to take another leap, in the business and grow it even more, because if we, if you didn't take that step, we would probably be still stuck in the commissary, sharing a kitchen with, 4 or 5 other, businesses, and, not having full control of our business, and just having certain hours that we can do things, and now it's just like we're able to have walk-in customers. We're able to see them in person, grow our business, and it's just, even sponsor people, that's one of the things that we do. Since we've grown and expanded our business, is one of the ways we give back is we sponsor athletes.
Nice.
So me being a pro, I look at the amateur athletes that have the similar dreams that I want, as far as going pro, and they're very ambitious, and they're very dedicated, and they're very passionate, and we kind of recruit them. So like we're out there like, hey, so and so's doing this and da-da-da. So then like we hit them up, and and we sponsor them. We help them out. Registration fees are super, super high, and so that's just kind of one way that we give back to the community in a sense.
Yeah, I love
that's
that.
awesome. And you're giving people support that maybe you didn't have in the same way, and that's like awesome to be able to give someone something you didn't.
For sure.
Have. I think that's like incredible. What are some challenges that you feel like you've had, and you've already touched on a few of them, like as a new business owner, and like especially with the rapid growth that you've kind of had over the last couple of years?
Definitely finding good people to work for you, reliable people. We've tried, the family thing, yeah, that didn't work too well. They kind of just show up when they want type of thing. But, it's you live and you learn, like it's nothing, personal. It's just, okay, well, we tried, that's not going to work. We got to find people we don't know. So that way we can let them know, like, hey, these are the rules. This is how we do things. If you can do it, cool. If not, then we got to move on. So definitely finding good people to work for us was always a challenge. And right now we have a good team, which is helping us. But we are still looking for a couple more people to add on to the business. Now that I'm, God willing, I get into the city council, I'll be able to, I'll have to step out of the store, from time to time. And I want to make sure that the store is still able to run properly with my tasks that need to be done. So, but I think that's probably like the main thing is just finding good people to work for, for us.
Yeah.
No, that is hard. Like attracting the right characters that fit your vibe and can handle all the rules. It's like I totally get that. Like that's always a struggle.
Do you have any goals for your business in the next few years?
Definitely expand. So a lot of our clientele is started in Modesto. So we still have we pretty much partnered up with a few gyms from the very beginning here in Modesto. So our base of our clientele online anyway is Modesto. So our plan is to open up a store here, hopefully in the near future. Another option that we have is to ship our product. Mm-hmm. So that's one of Mike's ideas that he wants to do. So we have a few ideas in the pipeline. So it's just a matter of pulling the trigger and just kind of going for it. So
love that. That's great.
So what inspired you to decide to get more involved in the community and start running for the Turlock Council?
So pretty much one of the reasons, or the relationships that I've built with the people of Turlock, business owners, people that just come into our store, the support that we've gotten from, since we opened our store last year has been tremendous. It's been incredible, overwhelming at sometimes. It's just like, wow, like, because you think, you depend on your friends or, your acquaintances to, support and whatnot. But, a lot of times they don't come around and, like I said, that's fine. It's all good. And you just kind of have to get past that and just build, the relationship with the people that are coming in and supporting you every single week. So that really touched my heart. So I when I talked to Mike, I told him, I was like, hey, you know what? Like, I want to do something more for the city of Turlock. I know it sounds crazy, but, maybe getting on the city council. I don't know. And the mayor, she actually comes to the store often and buys meals for me. So I kind of picked her brain. I was like, hey, mayor, like, I kind of want to do more for the city. Like, what can I do? Or is there any kind of like steps that I should take to do that? And so it just so happened that the district that I'm in, the seat is open. So it just kind of like, it was just
clicked.
Yeah, exactly. She's like, you need to go hold the clerk. So like I did everything, I followed the steps that I needed to. I filled out the paperwork. I got my signatures to get on the ballot. And, here I am now putting signs everywhere in Turlock so everybody can see my face. And so, and then from there, just, meeting a lot of people that, that support me for even stepping up to the plate to do something like that. They're just like, what, bless your heart. We need a business owner in there to be able to, help the city of Turlock improve, get more people to support small businesses. Because I think in every town in general, I think the majority of businesses are small business owners, right? And I think we pretty much rule the towns. And so, but it's just a matter of getting the support. So as far as like Turlock goes, like how I see it, a lot of the business owners, like we all support each other. So it's just kind of like money moving around the city. But I feel that I need to attract people from the outside of Turlock. I don't want Turlock to be just a town that you drive by. I want people to stop in, like, hey, what, let's go to Turlock because they have this and this.
Yeah.
So like one of my plans is to figure out a way to find, steps to attract people to visit the town, and just not, just drive by the 99 and, blink of an eye, it's gone.
No, totally. That's awesome. And then what kind of talents and skills do you feel like you're bringing to the table for city council?
So I'm a very disciplined person. I have a thick skin. So, I don't really show much. I don't make decisions based on emotion where, sometimes, when people tend to do that, the outcome isn't as great as you want it to be. So I feel with that characteristic, I'm able to, help decide things that are needed for the city. I'm a people person, obviously. I can talk to people, ask them about their concerns of our city, like, hey, what do you see in our city that maybe needs improvement or whatnot, and just integrity, because you really need that in that type of position. Because as far as the city council goes, I feel like it's like a thankless job. All they do is just like, you need to do this and you need to do it, just this, that. But, since I decided to run, I've been going to all the council meetings, and, it's just, I see how hard these people on the council work, and the mayor, how hard they're working, but, people still throw stuff at them like, well, what about this? And da-da-da-da. And how are we going to pay for that? And where's this money? And so, it's, I see it, a bit challenging, but you just kind of have to figure out a way to, okay, well, let's address these things. Is it logical to do this? Is it not? And just kind of go from there. So I feel that I would be a great addition to that.
For sure. No, and I love knowing that, you are obviously very disciplined, even with what your job and with your craft of like bodybuilding. It's like that's very much proven. But I love that you are like a business owner of that town, and you're wanting to like support and advocate for other business owners. I had a little thing with the city of Modesto, and they were trying to get me to take my walls down because they weren't up to this code. And I get all the rules, like I want to follow them, but the lack of rationale that existed in that room, and the lack of like qualified people to even make the decision of why it should be torn down or stay up, it was alarming to me. I'm like, oh wow, these people get to tell me my destiny and how safe I can make my household, right, without like taking my concerns into consideration. It was all just about the rule book, which I get. We have to uphold standards.
Yeah.
But I'm stoked that like you could have been a person on that board that like has certain background and experience, and you can help people in a very specific way. And that's what I was craving. I was like, does anyone know construction up here?
Yeah.
Like, is anyone really thinking about how I'm thinking about it, and like willing to consider why maybe this should be an exception? And it just didn't exist.
Yeah.
And,
and that's one thing that kind of stands out too. It's just like, the municipal codes that, there's some that were probably written years ago that have not been updated. And, I feel like it's something that, we can probably circle back to and be like, okay, well, we're in 2024 now. Like,
times are changing.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. and it's about evolving as well, yes, within the city too,
mm-hmm,
so it's just updating things and just getting the right people to talk about it, and just kind of, and put it in their face, like, hey, you know what, like, let's maybe try this and that. And if it doesn't work, at least we tried. But definitely bringing some of the things up to par to where we are now in 2024 would definitely help any city, really.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, 100%. No, I think it's great.
So you have done a lot of accomplishments in the last few years, a lot that are very honorable and inspiring. What would you say you are most proud of?
I feel that I am very proud to be able to have a storefront. I think that was, so I have a vision board at home. My husband and I do. So we just write things on there. We talk about it. We speak it into existence. I know it sounds crazy, but this is just the way we live our lives. We work hard for it every day. We talk about it every day. I think that's why we don't have friends, because we just talk about, our list, and just like, and we listen to, personal development audibles, probably through the first 3 hours of our morning. Like we're in the kitchen, at 4 a.m. Before the kids come into work, we're like 3 hours straight. We're just listening to this, brainwashing ourselves with all the positive mindset that is needed to, move up in life and just make yourself a better person, and I think that's been a big part of accomplishing, getting a storefront for me anyway, and just building it from there. I think it's been a huge blessing. I mean, you obviously have to do the work, 100%, but as long as you have, a partner to be able to do it with, I think sky's the limit. You can do anything you want,
Yeah, for sure. So how important would you say is your self-care and mental health with all that you do?
It's at the top of my list. So, and what I mean by that, like as I mentioned earlier, we listen to a lot of personal development, motivational speakers. I think with that, that's helped my mindset evolve. I mean, like I've never seen it before, compared to where I was, 5-10 years ago. Because really, if you have to really believe in yourself to be able to do things, and you kind of just have to, there's always going to be some kind of, negative or whatnot, but like how I turn negatives into positives, like if something bad happens, like I'm not like, oh shit, that sucks. I'm more like, okay, how are we going to fix it? What are we going to do to, improve the whatever, I don't dwell on it, and I feel like that's, one of like a good characteristic that I have is I can just kind of like flip it real quick and
pivot,
just,
yeah,
for sure. And just cause I mean, mental health and self-care, it's very important in a person, especially women. I 100%, especially women, because these days, I'll bring up a statistic real quick. So the obesity rate in Stanislaus County is like over 65%.
The what rate?
Overweight. People are being overweight. So if we were able to find a way to bring that down, I feel, women would be able to be a little bit more confident in themselves. But the thing is trying to find a way to educate them, So me being, Hispanic, so, we grew up on, beans, rice, tortillas, tamales, everything that, is full of carbs and whatnot, and I was a, chunky girl. I lost 30, 40 pounds before I was able to, build muscle. But we don't realize what we're doing to our body until like it's damn near too late, or, the doctor tells you, hey, Erika, like you're overweight, like you need to do something. And at that time, 15 years ago, that was what the doctor had told me. He's like, hey, Erika, you're almost 40 pounds overweight. But I'm a tall girl, so I didn't really see it much, until the doctor told me. And like, that was the pivotal moment in my life when I was like, I need to change my life around. So I hired a trainer. I lost those 40 pounds. I turned into a marathon runner type of thing, but then I kind of got over that. And then I started just building muscle, building my confidence, and I just feel like health and nutrition, and exercise would help anybody as far as their mental health goes. We're just too comfortable not doing much, especially these days. You can go to Target, it's curbside pickup. You don't even have to get out of your car. They make it so easy for you not to do anything. I'll come to you, Joanne, like here's your stuff. You don't have to get out of,
Yeah.
And I think that's the problem with society these days. There's just not a lot of moving around where, and that's where like, insecurities come out, and it's just like, oh, well, I don't want to go out. I don't want to do this. Oh, I don't look good. This and this and that. And it's like a mind fuck, and it's just like
the trap for sure.
For sure. And and then it's just, and then all these other crazy things come up that are negative, and then, it's just a bad way to live life. And I feel that, my passion and what I do is to, keep trying to educate people to like, hey, listen, like if you want to change, you need to decide and change within yourself. You need to change, from my perspective, I feel that you need to maybe work on this, and this, because as a pro bodybuilder, I feel that I can be able to tell these people that, because I went through it. I went through it myself, so I'm not just saying it because,
You have the credibility to back it. Yeah.
So, and without having them feel bad about it, it's like, hey, listen, like, I'm with you. Like, I get it. It's hard. It's never going to be easy, but nothing's easy. It's easy to sit there and not do anything, but then your health is just going to keep declining. And what then? And it's just it's really hard. But I just feel that I'm just I'm going to keep doing my due diligence and just keep educating people, helping them with their nutrition. And just do the best that I can. If I can inspire one person, I feel like I'm doing my job.
That's awesome. This is random, but I promise it makes sense. I have a fifth grader. He's like a 10-year-old, and his teacher just let him know, like, "Hell, we're gonna have to learn all the states this year, the states and capitals, like we all have had to." And at back to school night, she was like, "Yeah, I gave everyone a link. They can practice it, so they can get better and better at it." I'm like, "Okay, cool." I was like, "D, have you practiced it at all?" He's like, "No, it takes too long. Like, it takes me like 700 clicks to get all the 50 states in there." I'm like, "Okay, bro, like, you need to know this. You need to practice." And then all of a sudden he had a breakdown out of nowhere, and he was like, 50 states, Mom. They're wanting me to remember 50 states. That's impossible. I can't do that. And I was just like, D, you're not even allowing a window open of it could be possible. I was like, I did it. Your dad did it. Everyone that's entered 5th grade has had to try to do it. But it was just interesting of like, okay, we need to change this programming. Like, I can't, it's impossible. I'm like, your brain is trying to keep you comfortable and say, oh, it's too much. I'm just not even going to try.
Yeah.
But I'm like, if you know you're going to have to, if you know this is a positive thing, let's open up that door of like, what if I could?
Right.
But I think it's interesting, like, he's 10, right? But all of us have certain programmings, that have been instilled in us or from situations or things we've learned where we're like, oh, I can't, that's not for me. Oh, Erika looks like that, but I could never. We put limitations on it, so I think that we don't feel like a disappointment or that we failed. It's like, I'd rather say not possible than feel like, why am I not doing that?
Right.
I just think it's so interesting, but I think it takes like good coaches, good friends, situations to bring it into your awareness of like, oh wait, well, if she can do it, maybe I could do it.
100%.
But it's a lot of people don't want to acknowledge it or be aware of it because then they would have to do things a little bit differently. So
Right.
I like that you're coaching people to see that window of possibility. Like, maybe you could, maybe you don't have to look like that or eat the way you do. Like, we can, it's in your power to change it.
Absolutely. I mean, at the end of the day, you have to, step out of your comfort zone. That's how we grow, as a person. And I feel that, as soon as I did that, I'm like, shit, what else can I do? I'm just like, all right, let's do this, and it's just, it just brings me excitement. I don't put any more limitations on myself. I'm just like, what can I do next? Okay, I'm going to run for city council. This is awesome. Like, I think this is great. Thereafter, like, what else can I do? Who knows? Only time will tell. But yeah, it's just getting out of the comfort zone is obviously the hard part, but that's the only way that you're going to be able to improve.
Yeah. I love that. Well, and something I tell my kids all the time, I'm like, we don't have to accept no. We have to figure out how. And my husband hates it because they always challenge my no. And I'm like, you hate it now, but this is going to serve them in life. I'm like, I don't accept no. It's like, you give me a no, fine, I'll find another way to make it happen. And I'm like, I want them to have that instilled in them. I'm like, I don't mind if they question authority a little bit, not in a disrespectful way, but everyone deserves an explanation and everyone deserves to have that feeling of like, okay, you're telling me no, I still want this dream, so I'm going to go find the path to get there.
Absolutely. Yeah. And like, Mike and I, we don't have kids, but the kids that work for us, they just graduated high school. They're like 18, 19, 20, trying to figure out life out or whatever it is. And, we talk to them about life, like, hey, what are your future goals? Mike always talks to the boys, like trying to put positive stuff in them, and they appreciate that. One kid saved like about over $10,000. He's going to buy a truck. That's his goal.
Nice.
Because Mike's like, you're going to have to save if you want that. He acts like a father figure, which is awesome. Because and he has a dad, of course, but it's just like getting a different perspective from another adult. As far as like what you can do. With what you're doing and what with your work or whatever it is. And just helping them, grow in life, I mean, I'm sure their parents, talk to them, they give them whatever kind of, knowledge that they can. But, if we can also give them positive knowledge or the way we kind of view things in life or whatnot, it's only going to better them,
100%.
Yeah.
And so, and I think, and for me personally, like, that's one thing, like, is the kids, 18, 19-year-old kids that work for us, I'm just like, you know what, like, I want them to do more. Like, I don't want you working at Fit Kitchen for the rest of your life. Like, I just want this to be like a stepping
stone.
Exactly. It's like, we want you to move up and, do things in life, and that's what we tell them, like, use this as an opportunity to better yourself, and they're just like, one kid, she's in college, she's going to school, and, the other kid's saving money, and the other kid's like a bodybuilder. Like, they all have like different things, which is cool. Like, they're just bettering themselves in their own kind of way. And I think that's awesome to see in kids.
Well, I think it's so powerful getting guidance or like advice, feedback from someone that's not a family member. It's almost
100%.
like easier to trust. Because I remember me at 20 something, I'm like, okay, are you telling me this because you think you have to? Do you actually mean it? When it came to family, trying to give advice. But when someone else went out of their way and was like, oh, wow, you're giving me knowledge, insight, it was like, I completely was easy to trust. I'm like, they don't have to do that.
Right.
But like, you guys are choosing to do that. And that that's love. That feels like genuine, authentic, and it's easy to accept.
Absolutely. So. I mean, we had a kid that, he had his heart broken, for the first time, and he's asking Mike for advice, and then he asked me for advice. I'm like, you know what, buddy, like, things are going to happen in life, and you're not really going to understand it, but you're going to have to move on with your life.
Yeah.
There's going to be many more things. You're only 18, just go through your little, pain or hurt that you're going through and just move on with it, just grow through it, and so I feel like it's kind of cool that these kids, trust us and like, hey, like, what do you think about this? Like, what should I do?
Yeah.
So, I mean, we give them the best advice that we can, just to help these kids, because at the end of the day, like, we want them to have a positive mindset, growing up.
Yeah. And for me, being a young adult, my family, I mean, we would just talk crap to each other. We never uplifted each other. It was almost like expected from my parents, like, do well, but there was never those words of encouragement. So like my teenage self was like thinking I would have loved to have like an older buddy, someone that was like a mentor, someone that I could trust, to be vulnerable with and tell them like what I have going on and to actually care to listen for that advice. So I think that that's great because we can't always assume that people at home are even getting any kind of, words of affirmation or any type of encouragement.
Of course. And
I love
same with us, like with me, like I grew up in, in a household where my dad especially was very strict. I couldn't even go to the mall in high school. He's like, no, you don't need to go. And it's just like, and then I rebelled after high school and it's just like, I don't want a dad, but it's just like, they were only teaching us what they were able to. I mean, they're both from Mexico. They're hard workers, they had great jobs. They're retired now, but, growing up, they just were like, no, you can't do that. Those are not your friends. And, I think about that now. I'm like, damn, Dad, like, you were right. Those are not my friends. Like, you were right, but, and then my parents, how I see it is they took us as far as they were able to take us. And we pretty much have to decide how we're going to live our life. So when I took control of my life and I told my mom what, my plans were as far as bodybuilding, quitting my job, my mom's like, okay, I support you 100%. I want you to do better than, me and your dad, live your life. You have my support 100%. And just that right there, I'm just like, all right, I'm doing the right thing. Like, let's do this, So, it's a blessing. My parents, they, whatever they taught me, the discipline that I went through, I think just made me that much stronger to be able to push through so I can be able to do what I want and grow up to be a better person overall,
I love that. And I think something I tell my kids every time I have to have like a serious talk or correct them, it's like the end of it, I'm like, hey guys, I'm here to help you because I love you and I want to teach you and I want to share with you what I've learned. I'm not here to control you. I promise. I don't want to just force you to do stuff that doesn't make sense. I'm like, first of all, that's not me, but also like, that's not the goal of parenting. It's like, I'm a teacher and ultimately you're going to be better than me. So I'm like, you're going to pick and choose what you want to take with you in your path of life. But it's like, don't fight me. Like I have my reasons, and I'm happy to share those because, when kids are like, why do I have to clean my room? And it's like, there's a lot of reasons for this. But I think it's important for all, because even I look back at my parents and they have their own limitations, right? But ultimately I know their intent was good, and it was to try to help me and keep me safe and give me opportunities. But I like that you're able to kind of glean those things from your parents, and everything they tried to instill with you, you've taken the pieces you like, and now you're kind of revamping it and becoming even better than what that was. And I shouldn't say even better, but more evolved,
for sure.
Because they gave you that step up.
Absolutely.
That's awesome.
So with such a busy lifestyle, how do you handle your work life, or how do you balance it?
So pretty much work is my life. I mean, being a full-time bodybuilder and a business owner, as far as my business and meal prepping, they do go hand in hand. It helps me, pretty much with my physique. It helps me, as a pro, you pretty much kind of have to look a certain way. So my work keeps me on track with my nutrition. But we're okay with that. The time that we do have, me and my husband, like, we'll hang out at home with our dog, just chill. Like, we're totally like introverted now, and but we're totally fine with that too. So I feel we're both in a good place as far as balance goes with work and life, because we actually talked about this the other day. Because people, when they start a business, the intention, a few years down the road is to be the business owner and not the operator. You want to get out of the business, right? So, but with me, I'm just like, well, if I get out, what the hell am I going to do? So it's like, I like doing this, it's what I like to do, so this is all I have. We put everything that we have into this. So I'm okay with working, waking up at 3 a.m, being at the kitchen at 4, working all day, training in the middle, going back to work. Like, I like that. It keeps me young. It keeps me going, keeps me youthful. I'm going to be 40 this year in November. So I'm just like, okay, I just have to keep doing what I'm doing because I feel good physically, mentally, emotionally. I have a good, happy married life. We both support each other. I think we're doing pretty good.
Well, I love that you guys have curated a life and a business where you can be together a lot. It's like you literally have intertwined work and life completely, and I think that's really cool that you guys are making that work, and that it kind of feeds you and fuels you in a way. Like, that's awesome.
For sure. It's funny, like, people ask me sometimes, like, you guys are like together 24/7. Like, you guys don't get annoyed? I'm like, yeah, we get annoyed. We bicker at each other. We're like, hey, you shut up. No, you shut up. It's life. It's the married life. It's whatever. But at the end of the day, like, I can't get enough of him, and he can't get enough of me. And I feel that we just, like, we were meant to be. We were meant to be together. Like, once you kind of find that, it's just whatever little things that annoy us or whatnot. What we have as far as the positivity and the love, it's way bigger. And I think that's kind of where it helps us grow as a couple, as a people, and just we pretty much become one, So
I love that you guys both have that bigger picture mindset of, like, happy, healthy marriage, successful business, and you're not like sweating all the small stuff that like really doesn't matter tomorrow, you know?
Exactly.
Is there anything that you guys like to do for fun?
Whenever I can have a cheat meal, we'll have a burger and fries. So that's probably like all the excitement that I get. But no, I know we live on the edge sometimes. No, we like sports. If we have time, like we'll catch a game or whatnot. But just sports. Just hanging out with our dog. I feel like our dog is just like at home all day, and he just like misses us all the time. So we'll try and spend much time. We treat him like a human. It's crazy, but I swear he's like half human. He's a husky, so he talks a lot.
They have a lot of energy.
Yeah. Oh, wow. So just spending time with our dog and just hanging out and just outside of work and just having each other's company. You think it's enough being at work together, but just being at home in a chill, calm place, and we're fine with that too. So.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Do you currently have any personal goals that you're working on, whether that be spiritually, mentally, or physically?
So as far as bodybuilding goes, one of the goals that I want to achieve is to be able to win an open pro show so I can step on the Olympia stage. The show that I'm going to be doing in a few weeks, it's an open show, so pretty much it's all ages. So I'll be going against 20, 30, whatever ages or whatnot. But that's one of my goals. So come next year, I plan on doing about maybe 3 or 4 shows back to back. So you kind of have to get in front of the judges as much as possible so they can be like, okay, that's Erika. Oh, she competed last week. Let's see her improvements from the feedback that we gave her, and see if she's getting better. So it's always a challenge, but that's my ultimate goal at the moment, is just getting my physique as well as I can to be able to win a show and get on the Olympia stage. Yeah, that's on top of the list for sure.
That's really
awesome.
cool. And then lastly, what is a piece of advice you would give to your younger self?
Well, I would probably say, if you can, just listen to what, I guess the older, there's things that my parents have said, and I think of it as a kid, and I'm like, okay, they said that for a reason. And so if I would have taken their advice, things would have been a little bit different. But, I would probably tell her, you know what, you did the best you can, but you are where you are now, and you're doing awesome, and you can only grow from here, because I removed all the limitations that I had in the past, and I can only improve. So I think that's probably what I would tell my younger self is, I'm only going to get better.
Mm-hmm. Love that.
That's awesome. And as your younger self would love to hear that. Okay, cool, I'm here for it. Let's keep getting better.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, Erika, for coming in.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
It's been really fun getting to know you a little bit more and kind of what's in your brain and what fuels you. And I appreciate you being so vulnerable and sharing all of that.
Thank you. Thank you, girls, for having me. Appreciate it.
100%.
Good luck. Good luck
Yes.
with City Council.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All you girls know how it goes.
By when do you know what the ballot says?
So the ballots are going to be going out probably in the next few weeks, and then election day is November 5th, same as the presidential election. So
Nice.
I feel there's going to be a lot of people out there going to be voting. So it's just a matter of me getting in front of the people of Turlock. There's actually an event that's going to be held for the candidates I think in a couple weeks, where they can get to know us a little bit better. They're going to be able to ask us, questions, what my vision is and whatnot, and so that way I can kind of give them a better idea of what my plan is going in, and then just hope for the best. Yeah.
Awesome.
Where can someone get in contact with you? Like your handles, pages, links?
So our business Instagram is Fit Kitchen Meal Prep LLC. And then my personal is IFBB Pro Erika Phillips. You can follow both of them. As far as our business goes, we do online ordering. Our store in Turlock is a grab-and-go style store, so you can come in any time of the day to grab meals if you're in a hurry or whatnot. The store's open 7 days a week, so we make it as convenient as possible for anybody to come and grab meals. We deliver Modesto, Ripon, Turlock, of course, Oakdale, Hickman, all the little surrounding areas. So if you guys are interested, feel free to visit our website, check out our menu, send us any questions that you may have, so that way I can kind of direct you of what to order or whatnot. So
Nice. Love that. Well, thanks again for coming, and stay tuned for our next episode. Bye.
Bye. Thank you for joining us on another enlightening episode of the Awaken Your Ego podcast. We hope our discussions have inspired you to explore new dimensions of health and wellness.
If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to subscribe, rate, and leave a review. Your feedback fuels our mission to empower individuals on their path to optimal well-being.
Stay tuned for more insightful conversations, and until next time, may you continue to awaken your ego and embrace the extraordinary potential within.
Take care, be well, and remember, your journey matters.